Alright, welcome back to another live stream. I call this the dessert edition, so after dinner we're going to test some more masks that I didn't finish before dinner. I've got about get the 3M9501, have the 3M9502 Plus. This is a Oxygen KN95. We got the Honeywell H801. I have the Botan Kid Mask. Dr. Puri Black with this new clip-on little ear adjuster thing. It's kind of cool. Oh, we'll do the Kids Tiger Mask. And then the last is the, I'm trying to remember what this one was called. It's all in Korean, so I'm not, I think this one was called like the all, no, not all keeper. Top Clean or Clean Top or something like that. Maybe Clean Top. KF94 in black. For those, I don't think there's very many people who want to watch this again, but for those that do, I'll drop the link into, we're getting close to 30,000 there. For those that want to watch the data come in live, I just chatted in the chat. Alright, let's do this thing. Since I'm starting over again, I'm going to do the N100 control and the Moldex, or the Moldex N100 control, and I'll also do just the Air Queen, I think, this time, just to save a little bit of time, so we can get into the mass testing. If you have questions, throw them in there. I'll try my best to answer them, but I'm going to focus a little bit on getting this data going here today. Alright, so we're going to start at 2.838. Find my data set again. Where did I put it? 2.838 before. Got a little bit of a runny nose. It's cold in here. It's minus 10 right now, so it's a little cold in this bathroom. Alright, call there 0.571. That's freaking amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Pop it off. For those not watching the live stream, you're going to see the concentration spike. Yeah, I mean, that's freaking amazing. Who would figure an N100 mask would provide amazing filtration efficiency? Alright, so we'll give it a second here. Coming up to 20 seconds, so 2.004. 2.004 So yeah, nearly 100%. That's the Molex. Under control. We'll do the Air Queen as well. So we get around 90% again. Make sure our system is working consistently. That's all I'm really after more than anything else. So we are pretty good there. We're going to call it 2056. 2056 e to the 4. Go ahead and don the mask. There. 2.272, 2.272. Give it 20 seconds. Again, if anyone has any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll try to answer between masks, so if you have anything that you'd like to learn, go ahead and toss it in there. I'm not sure how many people are viewing this right now. 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and I'm testing masks. Alright, I'll call it there, 2.046. Again. Alright, let's do the Buttons Kid mask. Oops. I am the Spuff. Yeah, those are great masks. I think the median on them is amazing. If you have a really sensitive nose seal situation, I had a little bit of issue with that latest ombre one. It seems like a little bit of they're just always on the short side of the nose clip length, but they're amazing median. The design on those is so cool. It's yeah. I want to see more masks like that. 0.672 e to the 4 to start for this bot and kids. I'll try to fit this on my face. It's funny, actually I have to tighten up the ear loops just a tiny amount. So they're like adult size. It's like adult size ear loops on these things though. They must be using the same size as adult ear loops. Pace quite right. threshold there at 118. Kind of pinched the nose a little bit. It's kind of surprising given that it's a kid's mask. Well, let's put nose pinch required. 99%. I can't believe I fit on my face. That's pretty amazing. Let's see. Wait for a second. We had a question. Do you have thoughts on data on cloth masks with disposable filters? So I do and I don't. I've tested some, but you don't see the data published. In general, cloth masks are going to probably do 50-60% on a really good cloth mask. With a filter added, I'm not sure that you really see that benefit. Unless you have a really good face seal on it, the media adds so much more pressure drop that you just drive more leaks in it. So they're not really my preferred choice. I think again, I think I want one filter, one mask, one good mask. And with stuff kind of going on with like the B117 variant. Okay, so 1.577. Oops, 1.577. Okay, so bottom kids 99.27. So if you need a mask for your kid, we got lots of options. Let's do another kid mask. Let's just see how they all stack up. So Botan Kids looks just like the adult Botan mask. It's just like miniaturized. I'm kind of shocked it fits on my face. I had trouble with the next mask. So the next mask I tried a long time ago on my very first time doing this. So I'm sure I'll plug that CBC. I tried it on my very first time and I had trouble with this, so we'll try it one more time. I don't know if I'll be able to get this to fit because it's so small. It's one of the smallest ones. My son wears it. He's 5, so it's one of the smallest masks out there. So we'll try it. It's the blue tiger mask. Kids mask. Give me 1 second here. 1.354. 1.354. Even the 4. It'll be the last one we probably. Alright, I gotta turn that generator on. So I'll answer some. While I'm waiting for the generator to kick on after this mask, I'll try to answer some questions quickly. Alright, this is a tiny mask. Probably gonna have to hold it. I never thought about holding it before because I don't know why I didn't think about that, but I'm gonna have to restart the pop back up here in a second. Alright, so yeah, see how bad it's leaking? So I'm gonna have to hold it. So let's just hold it. Call it there. 74.89. Pop it off. I'll put help to fade. Let the concentration come up. Alright, got a few seconds here. Let's see. How do you adjust the ear loops when they aren't adjustable? Just tried the Blue 3D and they fell looser out of the package. Yeah, so Blue 3D, if you don't have an adjustable ear loop mask, let me show you, like on the these are the mask labs mask. You just tie a little knot to the end. You can also buy cord locks on Amazon or eBay for these, but just tie a little knot in a loop like that, and that'll shorten it up. So that's how I would do that. Yeah, Walter, hey, I'm sorry to make your Saturday night so boring, Walter. I hope you're not too bored by this. Oscar says, try some hooks to connect 2 loops like behind your. Try some hooks to connect the 2 earlobes behind your head. I can do that. I sometimes have mask clips, but I don't always like to use them. Oops, I forgot to grab that concentration. Ooh, let me grab that before I forget. 1.236 into the 4. 1.236 into the 4. Yeah, 99.42 from the Blue Tiger Kids mask. So if you're looking for KF94 for your kids, you want maximum protection, the kids mask has got it where it's at. That's awesome. I'm really excited to see so many KF94 options. This is crazy. When I started this, I was lucky to find 1 or 2. You had Botan, you had Dr. Puri. Those were your options. What a time to be alive. All right, so these are the we'll do the Dr. Puri black, the new adjustable jazz that they got. So we'll do Dr. Puri black, and it's got the adjustable ear loop design. not sure how I feel about it. It's kind of a weird design. I'll talk through it here once I turn the generator on. So I'm going to bring the concentration back up a little bit. You know, I haven't really thought about testing. I mean, it's always a question that I have. What should I test? Should I test masks that help people source better masks? Do I test to show that some masks are bad, like try to find fakes? You know, I never know how I feel. Usually I kind of focus on finding good masks, because I feel like finding a vendor a mask to help people probably provides more value right now than trying to prove that some mask sucks. I mean, there's a lot of data out there that show gators aren't great. Cloth masks, 50, you know, anywhere from 30 to maybe 50, 60%, right? So. Walter asks, I was wondering if the mask lab with the leak problem is to be expected of other versions of the mask. What do you think of the wire in those masks? I think it's varying from version to version. I think it's just the manufacturing tolerance of their wire length. That it seems shorter to me. I noticed that on the other FFP1 that I tested about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, that the wire length was on the short side but still went to the full edge of my nose, and these ones seemed like they were just like a few millimeters shorter, and so that was just short enough to create a leak. And I know that they're going to fix that. They have emailed me and said that they're going to send a new version of that mask where they went and adjusted their tolerance, or tightened their tolerance and adjusted adjusted to a wider nose clip length, so that should solve that. I have not heard of the Halo Life before. Let's find out. This Dr. Puri I opened at like 10 to glue in the port. I pressed it in and I still seal it with some RTV just to make sure that it's sealed. I did notice it had like a little bit of smell. It seems like I mostly only noticed with the Dr. Puris now. I never noticed it when I first got them, but I definitely noticed now that I've had them for a while with like other KF94 masks, that I noticed that the Dr. Puris like have a little bit of odor to them. It goes away really fast, so I'm not too worried about it, but like maybe there's like a little something there. But within like, so I opened it at like 12 hours ago and it's completely gone. Kyla had noted that the Halo Life, that the filter is almost impossible to insert. Yeah, I think, I'm always torn on this. I think there's a lot of different design solutions, and we'll test some of the, mask fitters and stuff like that. But in general, I don't know what the best solution is. We'll just keep testing them and see if we can find the best solution out there. Yeah, Ren noted that the Dr. Puri smelled for her, so I'm not, or them, I should say. Sorry if I assumed your gender. My apologies. Yeah, the Dr. Puri's kind of a little odor there. So 3.124. Alright, so let's kick these off. Now, I've never actually done the adjustment loop. I guess I should have done that while I was waiting for it to generator to kick off. I should have waited a second. So I think you adjust them by going under, and then you must clip up here. And it must do like this, so you get a little bit of adjustment, just kind of clip them in there. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So you kind of go around like this, clip in like that. Oh, it's been a while since I wore a Dr. Puri. Kind of nice. It's a good design. No, maybe not. So it's maybe a little harder to adjust than other masks. I gotta use a mirror here. Alright. Got her dialed in there. I'm gonna go a little tighter. Trouble sealing this one. Maybe it's just because I'm not adjusting it quite right. I'm feeling a little bit of air coming right out of here, which means it's also going to come back in there too. close that and try it again. Let's see what's going on with the data set. Trouble fitting this one today. It feels like the fit's like a little different than other Dr. Puris I've used. Yeah, I'm getting a leak. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't think it's the media. It's just the air loops. I can't get them tight enough. Let me try it and balance. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, I see the issue. Let's see if that fixes it. I normally get really good results with these Dr. Puris. I don't know what's up with this one. I'm not feeling any leaks. I'll stop talking and just get some data. Alright, it's called there at 1204. A little higher than I'd like to see. I'll try holding it to the face. I don't know, it feels like the mask is bigger. I don't know if they changed their sizing or not. It feels like really big, like almost the medium's too, the large is almost too big for me now. It's gonna be like 95%, so it's pretty good. It's hard to tell. Well, above 95%, it's pretty hard to tell if you have a leak or not. So then you have to, I'll do the hold the face on this and just check the media. But it feels like it's bigger than I remember other Dr. Puris. But it's been a while since I've actually worn a Dr. Puri. They're not really my favorite mask in the world. Alright, so there we go, 2.442. Alright, so what we end up with, we'll try it again with the hold to the face. So 95.6, so that's pretty, I mean, that's pretty good, I guess. We'll do a hold to the face. Let's check the comments, see what's happening in the world over here. Yeah, I'm sure it's totally fitted. Yeah, cool thing. Yeah, the balloon is a Matthew Spectre. Yeah, balloon is one of my favorite. I mean, Dr. Botton's really big. Dr. Puri has mask claps. Blue is white with no adjustable ear loops. So I think the balloon is still one of my favorites. Nice. Have you found your favorites, Patrick? My favorites are the LG Airwasher and Botton for myself personally, but I fit those pretty well. Otherwise, Bluna and Blue Bon are also good, as well as the Mass Labs as well. If you're sensitive to nose seal, then Mass Labs are a little borderline right now in terms of the nose length, wire length, but they're supposed to be fixing that. What's your thoughts on reinforcing a nose bridge with a longer cell adhesive? If you have nose problems, you just don't go for it. Just make sure that it helps and doesn't hurt it. How important is it to make sure that you have no leaks in the mask? Well, it's probably one of the most important things if you're trying to achieve really high filtration rates. So if you're trying to achieve filtration rates, if they leak, you can see some examples here. Well, I'll hold it to my face and we'll see if we get an improvement. But basically that means that the media is really good. You're just getting leaks past it, and the leaks past it are going to dominate in terms of your filtration efficiency. So let's pick this one up again. So we're going to be at 2.204. E to the 4 is on the mask, and then I'm going to hold it to my face. See if it's just that the mask is a little too big. I think it's too big for me. Too big. I'll start the program again. Let's start this again. So it's a little easier to see. Okay, so Actually, just redawning it, I got a better fit. Look at that. I'll hold it to face. We'll get the data, and then we'll try a redawn. All right, 67.3. Let's just pick it up again. So this is with me over the face. Try it again with the read on here. Let's pull it off and then we'll measure again, just to be safe, get the data right. All right, so you see the count spike there. So yeah, it's one of these issues that if you can't get it to seal, it doesn't provide as perfect protection. Let's see. Out of curiosity, Chaz says, tell you to thank you for spending Saturday night with stoner dudes that care about high filtration media. For those of us, including me, that have been on nebulizers, here are Led Zeppelin. Gina, I'm sure will say thank you very much. For saying nice things like that. She's been helping do this a lot, so hopefully we're still alive here. Alright, so we're gonna let that concentration stabilize. Kind of funky concentration. I don't know if I lost the live stream or not. It doesn't like play back for me. Oh, I don't want to full screen it. Seconds behind. Alright, someone's going 1.842 into the 4. So I was a little slow on that because I was distracted for a moment there. So 99.67. Okay, let's try this again. 1.816. And yeah, there's a little bit of variation with how fast I take that number, but let's try this again. Just a read on. Getting something right here. You can hear it right here. Call it there. 791.8. Let's call it there. 791.8. 791.8. And let's just top it off and see where we're at. So yeah, okay, that's looking pretty similar to what we had before. So even read on kind of 95. So the Dr. Puri doesn't fit me super awesome. I had that better with the white mask. So I'll have to see if they maybe they changed the sizing a little bit on the Dr. Puri's. I wonder if they did. Media is good though, that's for sure. Definitely good media. Let's see. Yeah, you can add some throw strip inside. I think my concern with the nose strip is, Kyla, is just make sure that the nose wire itself is really good. What I found is when you add foam to the nose seal area, that if the nose wire isn't strong enough, it can kind of compromise a little bit, and use just really compliant foam Do you think the new Dr. Puri is larger vertically, or is it? I think it's larger vertically in this direction here. I think it's bigger this way. Kind of strange. Let me jump over here. We'll get that filter date. 1.58 e to the 4. Yeah, so pretty much exactly to what I got last time. So not too surprising. Or 1.5. Actually, it's 1.55 e to the 4. I made this typo there. I'm trying to switch through all these screens too fast. Oh no, 1.5. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so that's Dr. Puri ear loop. So that's test 2. So it seems like it's just a little bit bigger, or I just couldn't get a seal on it. Adjustable ear loops are nice, though. It's kind of a cool little design. I like it. All right, let's throw that back in the packaging. Also, could be that my methods have improved. I haven't tested the Dr. Puri in a long time, from one of my very first videos, so it's kind of been hanging around. Let's do the Honeywell H801. This is a Chinese Honeywell mask that they're importing into the U.S. So Honeywell, yeah. And for those wanting to see the data, I'll paste it in there. Honeywell H810. You can just check out the Google sheet here. I'll throw it up in there for you guys, and then I'll answer some more questions. Oh, that's Dr. Puri. My keyboard's blocked by the mask. I can't see. All right, let's do that real quick. I'll share it with you just one moment. Copy link. Alright, that's for those that want to watch the data live. It's right there for you. Matthew Spector says, random question if you don't mind me asking, what does your family think of you testing masks in your bathroom? They think I'm just as weird as you do. My wife's a very forgiving human being. Let's jump into this real quick because we're going to have to kick the generator off. 1.33 e to the 4. Extended family have benefited from it, so I think they're all cool with it. So I guess everyone's kind of, they know me. I'm a weird guy. Oh, this is a tiny little mask. This thing is tiny. Oh, tiny! Like a toiga. Alright, let's take a look at that data. Oh my goodness, this thing is small. I can barely open my chin. Okay, it's a really tiny little cup mask. Not for big faces. We got a little leak right here. Call it 198.2. That is a tiny little mask. I can't talk in this mask. It's too, oh man, this is a tiny little mask. That might fit some really small faces. Hey, that's good though. We want diversity in our options. Sean Curtin says, hey Aaron, please have more live videos. I'll tune in every time. Yeah, I think I'll just do this for my data transparency portion. Instead of like filming it and then editing all this stuff together, I'll just do it for the data transparency. Just got my first shipment of KFs. Bottoms are the best. You're right. Enjoy the blue 3Ds for a cheap mask. Yeah, no, agreed. Shipping for $2. OTF on out the floor. I'm not sure what OTF stands for. Could it be the new Dr. Puri sizing in our Western market? I think so. They feel big. That feels bigger than I remember the other Dr. Puri. But like I said, it's been a really long time since I've worn a Dr. Puri, and my methods have improved considerably since I started all of this. I'll call the concentration at 1.248. I'm going to turn the generator back on. 1.248 e to the 4. What did we end up with? It's like 97%, 98%. Good job, Honeywell. China. These are from China, so good for them. All right, what do we got next? We got four masks less to test for the night, and then I'm done. Then I'm done with the next batch, and I got to shoot another video. The videos take so long. I don't know how I'm gonna do all this forever. Okay, so we're gonna test up these 3M 9501s, ear looped, really nice quality. I mean, I think honestly these probably gonna knock the Aroon out of their spot. They're a little bit big, and probably seal a little bit better. We'll see how they do. Let's see. Kyla says, Aaron, for a much better seal, I have Circumstances 3X have teach without mask. I use flesh bandages on the side and the bottom. Okay, yeah. It seems to be fine if you can get a seal. Some people have been using double-sided medical tape. I tried some that I ordered. It was way too sticky, and it hurt to my face, so I kind of gave up that. So you can try some medical tape, but I'm not for sure really what this is. I tried the Next Pour or something like that, or Next Pour or something, or Next Care from 3M. Double-sided, way too sticky. Walter asks, would it say that it is safe to order any mask made in South Korea, even those that are not KF94? I would say definitely it's got to be KF94 stamped if you don't know if it's good or not. That's how you know it's good. KF90, you can't put the stamp in South Korea. You can't put that KF94 stamp on it unless you've met the government regulations. So I would recommend it. Yeah, because you don't want to be buying fake masks out of China, because they're definitely there. I've been seeing a lot of people from Korea post on my channel in both Korean and English, warning me like, hey, there are fake Chinese masks, so be really careful. So thank you, whoever's been watching this channel from Korea, for letting me know. Ron S says, I got the Bluna face fit masks. They certainly seem to fit better than all non-KF94 masks I was wearing before. However, it feels like there isn't quite a 100% tight seal. That is possible. So you got to kind of figure out why you're not getting a good seal. Sometimes it could be that the mask is too big, or it might be around the nose. Now, the Bluna has a good nose seal on it for my face and my experience, so it could be that the mask is a little too tall for you from this direction to this direction. So you might want to try maybe a smaller mask like the blue or the bought medium. That might help answer that question. Or you can try measuring that and comparing to like a KN that maybe had well fitting. He says, especially right around the nose where it feels like it may... Oh, okay, so you might have a situation... If you have a really tall nose bridge, I find that even like the Bluna is pretty good, and it fits well for me. But even if you have a taller nose than I do, then it can even get more problematic. If that's the case, you could try the LG Air Washer. I should have read the second half of your comment there. So what can happen is that the nose wire is just too short, and it ends too early, and the spring back effect causes it to open up. You can also, some people talk about like you can buy external nose clips that have adhesive on them, and you can glue it to the top if you want a little bit of a hack type solution. So that might be another option. Megan says, I hopped on late if you're discussing this. Sorry, I heard rumors that N95 supply is okay enough to buy some, i.e. for fairly high risk. Is this right? Yes. So I just filmed another video. It's getting edited now. Probably will take me a little while, and I have some people helping me edit, so it might take me a little while to get to that. But yeah, everything I found so far, other than select 3M N95s, the N95 market is good to go. Buy whatever you want. If you find stuff you can buy them. Maybe just avoid the 3M surgical grade stuff. Leave those for some healthcare workers, because there's still some tight supply on some surgical grade 3M stuff, and that's because a lot of healthcare workers are fitted to that. So, but yeah, if you can find an N95, go for it. Just don't buy from Amazon, eBay, or Etsy, because that's where the fakes are going to be. Trogdor, bloop, Trogdor. Some classic. What was the Strong Bad? Yeah, Strong Bad and Trogdor. That's classic. Just want to say thanks for being awesome as a healthcare. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I can help. 10:40 Minneapolis, you're rocking it live. Yeah, I'm ready for bed pretty soon when I finish these last masks and call it a night. Do the power comms only come in one size? Yes, they only come in a single size. As far as I'm aware, at least in the U.S., you can only just buy that standard size, which is a little bit on the smaller side. I say, if you need a bigger one, the Aroon, or I'll be testing these 3M 9501s, which I think are bigger too. Ron S says, thanks, appreciate it. No problem. Keep doing it as long as I can. Do you feel SoomLab is a source for all authentic masks? I want to be sure. SoomLab, Air Queen, this whole thing, I don't know I never spent a lot of time investigating it, but I've still yet to figure out who the actual, legit importer is. They're probably fine. If they're coming straight out of South Korea, that's fine. That company drives me nuts. The Air Queen, they don't own, so they should own the trademark for Air Queen, right? They should have registered it. But airqueen.com apparently is not associated, and SoomLab is the official site, and that's just confusing. So I really have a hard time recommending them to people, because it's like, oh, you got to go to this site but not the other site, yada yada yada. Sean Curtin says, Bluna good quality, a bit shy of the bottom quality level, but I found the Bluna to be too shallow for my pretty standard white guy face. That's interesting. So, the Bluna, I think is, I don't wear the Bluna a lot myself, because it's just a little too short for me. I like the Botan a little bit better. Quality-wise, I mean, it's got a better. I think it actually has a slightly better media than the Botan because it's a little lower pressure drop. But if you're finding it to be too shallow, then the Botan probably will fit you better. And so that's kind of what I find. That's why I said that's why I say Bloom is like a smaller mask. In reality, they're all larges. It just fits a little bit larger face. So, all right, let's jump into this 3M 9501. Now, this is an ear loop mask, imported from China, backed from it's a 3M mask, but it comes out of China. This is not NIOSH or anything approved, it's just a KN. But let's check it out. Let's see how it goes. So, call the concentration at 2.404. That's a good number. 404, e to the 4. Alright, let's don this mask. First thoughts, pretty soft. Ooh, ear loops are very tight. Oh, those are some tight ear loops. I don't know if I like it that tight. Might be meant for a smaller face. I don't know if I'd recommend. They're doable, but they are tight with no adjustment. Let's see if I can get a pretty good nose seal here. Let's jump over to look at the plot. The plot looks pretty good. I'm gonna resize it here. Fits my face pretty well, so it's got to be a little bit on the bigger side. It looks like. Okay. Fits really well. It looks like it's stabilized 115.5. Wow, that's really good. 99.5. You know, everyone always says N95s are the gold standard, and I don't think that's true. I think 3M is the gold standard, to be honest with you. They just make the goddamn best masks out there. Oh, they're so good. Every time, they make everything right. So one thing I noticed right away about this, the ear loops are a little stiff for me. They're wide fabric, so that's kind of nice, but they're really stiff. And then the nose wire is a pretty thick piece of aluminum, so good on them for doing it right. Let's check out the chat and see. You know, anything. So, Sean, your question about ear loop strength, I wouldn't worry about it too much with the any of the KF94 with adjustable. That's the beauty of adjustable ear loops. So they do lengthen over time. I kind of noticed that with the Botan after a week. But the beauty of adjustable ear loops is that you just tighten it back up. So if you want the mask that can last the longest, go with an adjustable ear loop mask. Like the air washer with adjustable ear loops, is it a static electricity mask? It has an electrostatic media in it, yes. Will it quit working if I sweat on it? Or no. I love the way it stays away from my face, but I sweat a lot. No, Beth, you do not need to worry about the electrostatic media. Is safe from water, vapor, and condensation. It's just like soaps or alcohols you can't get on there, so you can't wash them. Wear them if they get a little humid or wet inside and you're sweaty inside. Don't worry about it. Not to worry about that. Just don't wash them or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to grab the concentration 2.114. I got to see a little. I'm going to bias my data a little bit because I'm getting a little slow on this concentration, so I got to be a little careful about that. Okay, so 99.49. Wow, 3M. So I think the company I got these from is importing these back into the U.S. and they were interested in kind of seeing if they were. Well, he knew they were legit. I mean, the person that's doing it definitely knew they were legit. He's like, I'm importing these straight from China. They come from the dock of the factory. I have all the certificates and everything. And I was like, yeah, sure. I believe you. I'm sure you're buying them from China. But yeah, I think this guy's totally on. The stuff's legit. And they're cheap too. I think these are like $2 a mask or something like that, or less. These are really nice. These might be better than the Aruns. I'll have to do some pressure. I haven't done pressure check yet, so we'll have to do that. The ear loops are a little tight, but good quality. All right, we'll give it 30. Let's see if we have any questions, and then we'll get back to this one. Have you seen or do there exist N95s with a KF94 boat style? Yes, there are. No, they're not N95. Oh, yeah. So yes, there are So Ron S, there are N95s with a boat style. They are the Aurora series from 3M. So this is like the Aurora 9205 Plus. This is their industrial one. Stay away from the surgical one just to save those for healthcare workers. But yeah, you can buy this, the industrial version. This is like a boat style. I just tested my video. What did I get? I just tested this about a few hours ago before dinner. What did I get? Where am I at? 9205. I got 99.16 on the first test, and then I retested it. Just made sure I doffed it really well, and I got 99.7. So these are really nice. If you want like a high-end freaking N95, that's this trifold or boat style, go with the 3M 9205 if you can find them. Oh, Beth, no problem in the terms. It's all new to everyone. It was new to me for a while as well. Looks like Patrick also answered that question. Megan, I prefer headband style. Are there any non-N95 masks besides Palcom that have them? If you use one of those things that tie the earloops together, does that improve the fit in the same way headbands do? So, are there non-N95 masks besides Palcoms that have headbands? I mean, it depends on the term N95. So the answer is yes. There are KN95s that have headbands. In fact, I'll be testing one right here. This 3M9502 is a headband-based mask. It depends on the style. So, like, you're not going to see any Korean masks really with headbands. They're all ear loop, and that's just kind of the market that they target. But there are KN95s with headbands. Palcom has them, as well as the 3M9502. So if you watch, you can see the data come in on this one. By the way, it took me like 3 videos to infer what pressure drop was. No, that's okay. I take it that means how easy is to breathe. That is correct, Sean. It is how easy to breathe. So higher pressure drop means harder to breathe. Lower pressure drop means easier to breathe. I guess I never really explained that very well, so it's a reminder me to touch on that in the next video. Yeah, no, that's it. So hopefully, Sean, that answers your question. Chess says since 420 has been legal in Colorado for over 10 years, if you made a video that showed how to recycle masks over to bong apparatuses to healthy nether lives, that would be appreciated. I think that's a great idea, but I'm not sure. I'd have to take a few rips of that bong first to really come up with some clever ideas. All right, I'm going to jump into this mask test real quick. We'll answer those questions once I'm done with it. So we're going to call it concentration of 1.718. 1.7. I like your style, Chaz. I like your style. Chuck, I guess I should call you Chuck. I don't know what. Maybe there's because you go by Charles or Chuck, but Chaz is kind of your nickname there. So he sent me some masks. So the person named Chaz B in here is a super solid person and sent me some masks to test. In fact, So Chuck, this mask is the one you sent me. Thank you for sending that. I really appreciate it. And thanks for the box. And thanks for the extras. Because I got to do some long-term testing on it. Maybe we can talk about how to hack masks too later. So let's see. Data's looking pretty good. I might have to adjust my fit just a tiny amount. Take a look at the data. Let me pull it back up. There we go. Damn, 3M is so good. So there's some bug in the software, if you guys aren't seeing it. It like jumps up and down. I can clear it on here. Somehow there's a transition around 100, less than 100 particles per cc. This thing kind of bails out. I'm talking, so it spikes. So maybe I'll be quiet here for a second. But you can see that spike happening. There's something funky with this at low concentrations. Call it there, 66.69. Something a little funky there on the low end there. You know, what happens when you get to really, 99.61? Get out of here, 3M. Wow. All right, 3M, you win. You always make good stuff. All right. About 10 seconds, I'll answer as many questions as I can. Let's see. Rin, do you know if isopropyl alcohol affects electrostatic media if it's sprayed on hand surface and the vapor lingers? It can, but not if you're just putting on your hands. I wouldn't worry about it. My work requires high sterility, so I'm around a lot of IPA. Okay, so Rin, that can be an effect over time for you if you're breathing a lot of IPA. That can strip the charge over time. I'm not sure exactly. How you smell is much different than the concentration, and your smell is typically logarithmic, meaning you can smell very low concentrations, and as the concentrations go up, you can't tell quite that the change is linear. So yes, it could be a problem. You might want to think. This thing's like a perfect application for the Air Queen for you, Ren. Get them from the Soon Lab sites. People can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but Soon Lab is like the direct seller to that. AirQueen.com apparently is like some other third-party seller, but those are unaffected by any IPA, and those are they're not electrostatic media. So for at work, if you're worried about it, Ren, just go with an Air Queen. You'll be completely unaffected by that, or other nanopore filters like the Filty mask and the Filty NF95 would be another option. Okay, I'm going to grab the concentration here. 1.326. Yeah, so 99.56. 3M. So these are definitely legit masks coming out of 3M China. Wow. Prices are cheap, too. These are really nice. You gotta buy a box of 50, but 99.56. This is as good as any of the other 3M masks I've tested, and they're a fraction of the price, so. Okay, let's do what all I'm going to ask. I'm going to do 1 minute of questions, and then we're going to test another mask. So let me go through them real quick. Colton Thomas asks, how well do those masks protect others? Do they get high outgoing filtration? Yes, they protect others much, much better. Now, outgoing's a little tougher, so if you breathe really hard, because they're ear loop masks, and they're not meant to seal. They're meant to seal during inhalation. They can push away your face a little bit. So, but we're talking like 99, whatever the inhalation rate is, probably around the same value, maybe 10% less. So, excellent protection to others. Ren says, but no liquid ever touching the mask. Yeah, so if the IPA is not touching the mask, but fumed IPA can cause problems. That's how they strip charges using a hot IPA fume system. So I don't know exactly. It may not. I'm not sure I can test that. I would probably say it's probably unlikely to be a problem, but I can't guarantee that. Walter asks, is the Mask Lab the best mask? No, it's not the best mask yet. I hacked one and put a bought nose wire in my Mask Lab mask, which I'll test here eventually. That is the best mask. So once they upgrade the nose wire, I think it'll be the best mask. But right now, if you want the best mask, it's a Mask Lab mask that you take and insert a bought nose wire, and it's money. Kyle, is the mechanism? I think they're talking to each other between that. So. Sean Curtin says, so Aaron, I worked in a gun store for 8 months. No one else wore masks. I didn't know better, but I processed N95s with IPA. Or like sterilized N95s. Yeah, that can hurt them. Because at the end of the day is like all these test standards, even stuff I'm testing too, is really small aerosols. COVID's not that big, so the reality is that like most of the stuff is overkill. Like, to be honest, you could probably get away with a little bit lower, but it's hard to say for sure. So you're probably not too, even with an N95 you clean with IPA, you're probably better off, to be honest with you. So, but do not do that. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason to compromise the safety just for that. I'm going to load up the next mask here, and then we'll jump in. Matthew Spector, do you have a donate link if you want to send some money your way for more mask beer, essentially? Matthew, here's what I want you to do. I don't want any donations, not because cost me a little bit of money. It's not that big a deal. But my goal is to spread the notion of protective masks and try to help save some lives. So what I want you to do, Matthew, is next time you buy some masks, buy some extras, and then try to find people to give them to. Talk to people about masks in an approachable and non-confrontational way. Just explain that you can get masks that protect you as well as protecting others. I think that's been a big selling point lately. So just try to get anyone onto a better mask, especially elderly people. If you have an elderly neighbor, just kind of approach them and try to help them size them. That would be honestly the best thing you could do for me, because the more people we can prevent dying from this, the better. You taught me that put the mask down to 85% filtration at best. Not sure I'm Sean what you mean by that one. Sean says story time. Half the crew got COVID, but not me. Tam, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you put IPA on the concept, I'm just going to start the generator here since we're going to answer these questions here. So we got a couple more minutes. So, yeah, Sean, I think in general, even if you're like, at 85%, you're still way better off than someone without a mask or with a cloth mask. So, good on you for wearing a mask and helping slow the spread and protect yourself. Yeah, you don't need to, spraying shoes and stuff like that, I think fomite transmission seems to be pretty unlikely. What are other tips for COVID mitigation on top of masks? Okay, so I think if you're looking for other things, of course, hand washing is important. Maintaining 6 feet of social distance is always good. If you're going to be less than 6 feet, and the person has a marginal mask, I would recommend a face shield. On top of that, I don't think you need to do much. I think, unless you're in a hospital situation, then of course there's stuff. But if the person has a low probability of having COVID, I think that's more than enough, to be honest with you. But I'm not an epidemiologist, so full warning, I'm an aerosol guy, so I could underestimate that risk. Will you link sources for 3M mask in your next video? Yes. Meg, you can get, so here's the deal. The company I bought these from, well before PPE, which is a legit PPE company, Shaw's, the person I got to talk to, is legit. He's selling the 1870 pluses, which are surgical ones. I'm like, I don't want people buying surgical ones, but look, if you can find them, buy them. Well before PPE carries these, are like $6 a pop, so a little spendy, but really nice. And headband only, of course. So if you're an early person, you won't get them. Are FFP2 masks resist oil? Yes, FFP2 are tested against paraffin as well. So yes, they will be resistant to oil, but the oil will strip the charge faster, so you won't be able to use them for as long. Oh, someone already answered that. Someone's getting ahead of me. I have notes on over 6 KF94s on my desktop, watching this from bed. Walter asks, how important is eye protection in the equation? That is $1 million question. I get a lot of questions on that, and I'm not, from an aerosol and kind of perspective, I can give it to that. In terms of droplet spread and stuff like that. Like if you're maintaining 6 feet, the amount of air your eye sees is pretty small relative to your lungs. So like your lungs, every minute you're huffing like about 8 liters of air in. So think of like 2-liter pop bottles, like 4 of those every minute you're huffing in that much air. So, and your eye may see 0.1 liters per minute. So is there a chance of infection through eye? Absolutely. Is it the next source of infection once you have a really good mask? Maybe. So it never hurts, but if you maintain 6 feet of social distance, I think it's probably pretty minimal risk. But full disclosure, that's not my background in terms of like epidemiology. If FFP2 and KF94 resist oil, would they protect against tear gas? I don't know. That's a good question. So they don't really protect against gaseous stuff. So anything below like sub-nanometer and into the gas phase, they don't really filter. So I'm not sure what the particle size is of gas, of tear gas, but I'm guessing probably not. Otherwise, people would just wear N95s and their eyes. Well, I guess it doesn't solve the eye problem as well. You need goggles still too. Most people I know are talking about double masking. Earlier said not to. Does it diminish the value of well-fitting, not gappy masks? Yes. If you wear one good mask, you don't need to wear multiple masks. One well-fitting mask is the way you should go. If you look at my test data in the Google Drive, you'll see that I tested today a surgical mask with a well-fitting cloth mask, and that does improve it. I mean, it basically acts as a mask brace to get it good to your face, but it comes at an expensive pressure drop because you basically have a cloth mask which doesn't provide you any protection, acting as a brace, but also adding pressure drop. So one mask is all you really need to do. Yeah, they definitely. Well before also has other correct non-surgical options as well. So those would be my recommendation. Just because, I mean, if you can find them, buy them. I mean, I guess. Look, healthcare workers have first dibs on anything 3M's making, so if they're showing up on the marketplace, then that's why. Let's see. 2.74. We're going to get started here, so let me just finish the last couple masks, and I'll answer some more questions. So we'll jump back into the mask testing. So this is going to be the Ajin. They have a different name, full name, but... oops, I just misspelled that, but that's okay. Alright, we're going to start off at 2.61 e to the 4. Oops, I'll fix that in a second here. I'm gonna nose seal issue here. Nose wire is not as good as the premium one. They're 473.4. Let's just try this quickly while I have it. .6. So it's media limited. That's a media limited option. So it's just the media is not as good. Oops, I don't need to do that. Let's just put 532.6. We'll kind of do a mid-mass test on that. 532.6. Again, if you want to see the data live, it's on the Google Drive link that's in the chat. Let that concentration come up. Wait 20 seconds here, and we'll record that down. Call it there, 2.390. Alright, we're down to our last mask, everyone. 390, e to the 4. I'm getting tired because I'm making lots of type moves. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit on this. Let's put this as Ajang held to face. I'm going to say mid-test. So I could just kind of double that test. It seems like it's media limited, about 97, 98%. So really, you know, the media's maybe not the greatest, but maybe they're cheap, I don't know. And look at pricing on them. Okay, last mask, and then we'll answer a bunch more questions. Walken asks, and I hope I pronounced your name right, I'm sorry. Walken. I'm assuming it's German or Swiss or something like that. Maybe I'm totally off on that. So it'd be cool to have some Japanese-made DS2 masks or European FFP. I have a hard time finding any FFP2s in America, so that's really the issue. I just going to source them. And where did you buy that 3M9502 Plus? Yeah, I'll put the link in there. K95masks.com or something like that. Oh, give me 1 second, I can chat it to you. It's like $50 for, or I think it's like $100 for 50 of them. So it's a surgeon or a doctor who started up a mask company or like a supply company to try to get just protective masks for companies, and also started the PPE connector. I think it's called PPE connector. Let's see here. It's kind of like this, it's kind of a cool little company here. Give me 1 second to look it up here. Trying to connect hospitals with manufacturers for distracted here temporarily. Connect hospitals with PPE manufacturing, and I've just got some time to talk to him. And what the heck? I don't need to find what. Let me figure out what was his name. Give me 1 second here. I'm looking it up. What was that Jay's name? Jay is his name. He also has like a fraud check program that's kind of cool, which I think I mentioned. I'll mention in my next video. He seems like a legit person. Seems like a good guy trying to do good, right? Like that's the thing. Like no one's perfect. Okay, let me find it. I get so many contacts from people that are scammers, so I'm always hesitant about anyone who contacts me about anything. All right, I'll post the link in here. Hopefully he's still up. Yeah, here we go. This is where I got those masks from. So 9502, 9501, other than the 3M Aurora series, all those came from that company, and they are legit. He basically worked to get directly imported from China everything. So like people, as he explained it to me, he literally sends people to go pick them up on the doorstep of the shop. So yeah, they're $2 a respirator for those 9502s. The ear loops on the 9501, I think that's 9501. Those are a little stiff. Like those are tight ear loops. I don't think I can be comfortable with that all day. But the head straps are good. So yeah, that's where I got those from. All right, let me check. See, one last question set, and then we will test this last mask, and I can go to bed. Well, answer some more questions, then I'll go to bed. All right, let me close this stuff down. You guys can't see what I'm doing on my screen, but I'm doing that. Jess says what you're hearing is the CPC humming away. Yeah, it makes me sleepy too, actually. That's what's kind of funny about it. I get kind of sleepy, just like in here right now. It's just kind of mellow. 1.808. Let's do this. 1.808 e to the 4. Let's don this. Now, this is a black mask, non-adjustable ear loops. I think it's called like Clean Top or Clean something like that. I'm going to have to shorten those ear loops for sure. Way too long. They must be meant for a mask clip. Sometimes, like, I see manufacturers which really design the ear loops for a mask clip, but then they don't include a mask clip, and it's kind of like, what the heck? I gotta explain to people that they have to tie a knot in their mask, Like, we'll see. This is a very inexpensive mask, as I understand. I think these are quite cheap. I think, actually, who sent it to me? Chuck sent it to me, so this is another one of your masks, Chuck. I don't know where you got it from. I don't know exactly where you got this one from. This is one of yours that you had sent me. I think it was Clean Top. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember exactly. I think it's the same company that does the Evergreens. Good fit. Let's see how the data looks. Oh yeah, nice good fit. I'll restart it so you can see it a little bit larger size. Oh, damn good fit. Right out of the gate, just tighten the ear loops. Alright, I'm going to be quiet here for 20 seconds or a little over as I get the counts on this. Call it there at 50.64. That is a good mask. Easy to breathe in too. It's a good mask. No adjustable, but if it's cheap, good mask. I don't remember what it is. I don't know what brand it is. Let's see. If you guys are ever wondering a little trick to translate these, you have Google Translate on your phone, it has a camera feature on it. I'm getting a bunch of Reddit messages. I owe a lot of people messages. I got to jump on a Slack channel again to talk more about organizing some data. I got to call some people. It's a lot of work some days. I got to answer some questions on Reddit. I saw a bunch of people ask me on Reddit. I just haven't been on there in like a while. So anyways, if you use Google Translate app, you can actually translate right on the thing in either. So this is easy to bring. Evergreen, yellow dust, quarantine black. Food and drug approved, quadruple structure, steam line design, glasses prevention. So this is Evergreen, but it's different than the one I tested before. I thought this was like the clean top Evergreen. I'm going to call it the clean top Evergreen, just so I remember. But yeah, you can totally, I don't know if you guys can see that in the image, but you can like translate the whole thing. Just use Google Translate with the camera option, then you can just read Korean stuff in the native language, kind of. It's translated, so it's always a little funky there. Oh, I forgot. God, we're going to be a little off 1.59. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to call this the Evergreen Clean Top, because I think it's Clean Top for some reason. Alright, well, 99.7. Holy smokes. Nice. Evergreen Clean Clear. Yeah, Evergreen Clean Clear. Clean Clear, okay. Yeah. Good mass. Holy crap. I don't know how expensive they are, but good quality. I mean, like, that's crazy to me that, you know, you get like way better. You're getting like god dang near Aurora, 3M Aurora at $6 a pop. We're getting as good a filtration efficiency on freaking ear loop masks. Not even headband, ear loop masks. Oh, Evergreen Clear Top. Okay, thank you, Evergreen Clear Top. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. I mean, that's bonkers. Wait, is this a mask that doesn't have any? Let me check that. Let me see if there's any. Let me see if this is like a rigid. Sometimes oh, I think it is. I think this mask has something different on the top. I think there's something different on this top flap, which prevents glass fogging. Maybe not. Hard to tell. I'll have to check that out. I'll translate and see if they have anything in Korean. I have seen one of those available one time, a long time ago. I was digging for masks, and I found that they had, like, someone had made the same mask with a rigid top. Like, not a non-filtering top, so you don't get as much glass fogging, but I can never find it again. Okay, so that's the end of the masks I need to test. So how many is that? It's like 20 masks today. Holy smokes, that's a lot of masks. All right, good day testing. Let me jump over here. Let's answer some questions, and then I'm going to call it a night. Oh, it's an Amazon purchase. Oh, an Amazon purchase. Oh, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking my heart. All right, let me jump in here. Let's answer some questions quickly. And I'm going to butcher your name, but I will try my best. Srinivas Krishna? We tried the Mass Lab KF94, and the fit was a miss. It would keep slipping off. Are there bigger KF94s you recommend? Yeah, so if you're having trouble with the Mass Lab mask, I'm trying to work on come up with better ways to measure it, but I would try the Botan or LG Air Washer and see if those help. If you have a really big, and there's no offense to anyone who has it, but if you have like a really tall nose and it's really a lot of projection, for some of those faces, KN95s work a little bit better if you can get your hands on them. KN95s in the US, like the Powcom, the Rune, or these 3M 9502s, which I just tested today, which are really nice. They fit with a little bit more projection, and the reason is because like they have this taper right here on the bottom, so as it gets bigger and bigger, it can climb further down your face, so they're a little bit more accepting of like a face that's more projected, but I'm not sure exactly where, so I just put myself behind. Let's see. Walken said, and if I mispronounce your name, I think it's Walken, or Jocken, or I think it's probably Walken, and let me know. I don't mean to be insulting if it is. Overall, seems like mass prices are coming down a bit. Yeah, I think we're going to come down a little bit. I think they're going to stabilize. Melt-blown prices, from talking to a couple of different manufacturers, melt-blown prices are like at or below what they were before the pandemic. So melt-blown is everywhere again. So the only thing that's gating us from having more masks is like just getting the information out to the public and the supply chain stuff in the U.S. because there just hasn't been enough there. Ron S., how does aerosol particle concentration that you use for using compare with that would be the case of various real-world situations? Okay, so this concentration is like extremely high. If you look at my previous, just after dinner, there's a dinner, I did this before dinner, there's a video where I kind of simulate talking in a high filtration mask like the N100, you can get my particle concentration. So like we're talking they're really, really low. like you're not generating a lot of particles when you talk, which highlights like how contagious this disease is, that it doesn't take very much. So in general, and in each of those axings, talking is pretty low, but sneezing is like 10 times the number of particles, but still less than this generator generates. This generator looks like it's fog coming out the top. It puts out a lot of aerosol. Beth Kirk, thank you for my public service. You and Dr. Fauci are my heroes. Yes, I like Dr. Fauci too. I wish he'd give me a call. We could talk about masks, but I don't think I have enough influence for him. I just now joined the live stream. Is it safe to assume that 3M Auroras that were on the spreadsheet are now from Wellport? Yes. Good call, AC321. Yes, they are from Wellport. The 1870 came from Wellport. Megan, recommendations on masks that don't fog glass would be or how to keep it. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm thinking, Joe is fine for Joe. Okay, so Joe, I'll call you Joe now from here on out. Yeah, that's a good question. I wear glasses myself, but I don't see an issue. And I think it's just the design of the glasses, so you can get enough air in there. It's just the hot steam's kind of coming out your face, or hot warm air is coming out, and then the mask stops it from projecting out, so it just kind of goes up your face like this, and then it covers your glasses. So yeah, it's a good call to think about it. Chuck says Powcom rock. Don't purchase other than Powcom. Yeah, I like the Powcoms too. They're good. They're so cheap too. Sean Hessler, I've seen in a recent article videos saying that you're focused on educating the public and getting masks out there. More details, more news appearances, podcasts, etc. Yeah, that's a question. Yeah, I mean, I get contact reporters pretty regularly and try to provide them some context about what are masks. And so I think Health Magazine interviewed me. They kind of covered it. So Health. I'm trying to remember the person's name. The person that wrote the article from Yahoo News really kicked it off, and really a great person for taking the time to talk to me when I had, and then 800 subscribers is included in the article, and now I have like 3,000, and I never expected in my life this would be this big. I've also talked to a lot of doctors and medical supply companies that are interested in KF94s as well for like general population masks, discussion. So I hope that we're really kicking off a good conversation about good masks. And I have nothing, I mean, if American masks would make something like KF94, I think that'd be even a better design. I wish we would do that. I wish we would be making masks in America, or just all over the world. This is the solution. Aerosol spread is what it is. It's been clear to me since June. That's why I started this project. Like, the data was so clear in June that the only way this spreads like this is not freaking droplets. You can't have spread like this unless it's aerosol, and it was so evident. And the fact that we delayed is just stupid. Have you heard more from domestic mask makers? Yeah, I've reached out to quite a few. So 3PE is one I tested tonight. Unfortunately, their nose wire sucks, and so they're not great. Travicity is another one. United States Mask or Mask of America, United Mask of America, or something like that. They're another mask maker out of Texas. Lloyd Armbrust, who's makes the surgical mask, he's making an N95. There's a couple other N95. So Bluegrass masks that I tested about a month ago. They're a U.S. based system. I don't know if they're going to do N95s, but they're going to do it. So there's like 10 U.S. mask makers, but no one knows about them. And the big issue is that they're all kind of get NIOSH N95 certified, which is great, except that we're telling people to not buy N95. So these people are making masks, and there's no one to buy them because people are being told not to buy N95. So it's really disappointing. I'm saying, hey, buy N95. You can buy an N95. Grainger, McMaster, 3PE, United Masks of America, whoever has it, buy it. It's just ridiculous. We have plenty of melt blown. We're not stealing it from hospital workers anymore. Let's kick it up. If you get condensation glasses, it's always because you have a leak. No, I actually can prove that. I guess if you would like to see it, I guess maybe I can try it. Let's do it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, put my glasses on. Let's find this clean top. Now, I just tested this one. 99.7% filtration efficiency, right? Something like that. So let's put it on. Let's see if I can fog my glasses. Yeah, okay, well, let's get it live. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yep, they're fogging up. Now this mask I just wore, 99.7, so it can't be leaking too much. If I breathe out in a continuous manner, they're fogging up. I don't know if you can see that or not. Not as bad as if I had a leak. If I make a leak like this, okay, so now I got a leak. Now with the leak on it for sure, instant fog. So yes, leaks make it much worse, but even with a good fitting mask, you can also have a leak. So I'll leave my glasses off because they reflect so much light you won't see my face. So yeah, mask leaks can happen if you get glass fogging like intensely. It may be a sign of a leak at your nose bridge. If you feel jets of air coming through there, like coming across your nose bridge, that's usually a sign. So you definitely want to tighten that up. But not always if you have a leak. So if it's really cold, like in Minnesota it's minus 10, if I wear a mask and I walk out to my car, it's just like instant fogging my glasses. Or in my car too, I notice that if I'm wearing a mask in my car and it's super cold outside, it's like instant fog. I gotta take the glasses off, which sucks when you drive, or take your mask off. Let's see. Beth Kirk, how do you do this work and your day job? Well, I do my day job and then I come home and do this work. And so my wife has been an amazing person to help make this all happen. So if there's one person that I'm really responsible for doing this, is my wife is just much stealer. She's been taking on a lot of the stuff. Normally I cook dinners, and she's been cooking dinners since COVID began, and just really has been an amazing person. So I really owe her for all that. So it's a lot of work. I'm tired. I'm ready for COVID to be over. I'm exhausted. I've been doing this for 5 months of testing masks every weekend and answering mask questions. So are we going to be wearing masks forever, by the way, Megan and asked? I think no. I mean, I hope so. I think for me, I'll personally be wearing masks on flights from here on out. I mean, the fact that I haven't been sick all year, I haven't had anything, even a runny nose or like a green boogery nose, anything. I mean, it's been amazing. So, and I usually get sick. I fly internationally pretty regularly for work, and I always get freaking sick. I'd land in Thailand, and I'd be sicker than a dog pretty regularly. And it's like, yeah, of course why. I'm like, I wasn't really good about hand washing, and I was not wearing a mask, so I'm sure I caught every disease under the sun doing that. So, Joe asks, outward leakage isn't supposed to be the same as inward leakage, I suppose. Outward leakage is probably higher than inward leakage in reality, just because the mask pushes away from your face and it's hard to seal. Chuck says, I'm going to SNL. Yeah, no worries, dude. Have a great night. I'm going to close this up here pretty soon, too. I'm ready for bed. It looks like we'll be wearing the masks like our socks. Yeah. All right, well, last call for any last questions. Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed for the night. Data is in the Google Drive link. I'll paste it in here. Let's see if I got it. Nope, I don't have it active in there. Let's see. I'll get you a link for everyone. So if anyone wants to see the data from today, take a look at it. I'll eventually shoot a summary video where I talk about these masks in more detail, kind of talk about nose wire, experience, etc., etc. And usually wear some of them for a long duration to get a feel for them. So last call for questions. So Srinivas says, thanks. We'll try out Can. Gonna go to Powcom next. Yeah, Powcom or a Room would be a good option too. They're a bigger mask. What's your take on cloth masks with filters? Like, in general, cloth masks with filters, you're just stacking so much pressure drop. Yes, they do provide some protection. In general, though, they're nowhere near a KF94. And the big difference is that they're really hard to breathe in. Cloth masks plus filters are hard to breathe in. You get a mask lab, and they're so easy. You get a LG Airwash or a Botan or any of these. They're really easy to breathe in. I've had many people that have come from heavy cloth masks. They go to these and are like, I think they're fake because they're too easy to breathe in. And I'm like, give me your package. No, these are legit. They match mine. Like, why do you think that? They're like, they're too easy to breathe in. I'm like, no, that's because you've been breathing out of a freaking 7-layer cloth mask. That's impossible. So, yeah. Let's see. Good job, deserve a rest. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed. Idiots at work say masks don't work, and next breath, and they're wondering why their regular flu infections are down. Yeah, no, masks definitely do work. And flu is probably also spread by aerosols as well as contact stuff. What we're going to find out is all the diseases that spread by aerosols. When they all go away, we'll know it. Aaron, did you see Powcom made black anions? Yeah, I just tested them. If you look at my data, I just shot a video yesterday, earlier this morning, actually. I want to say yesterday. Early this morning, I got up early and shot a video. They are good, 97%. Plugged it with my face, it got even better. So pretty solid mask from Bonafide. I like the black. Yeah, no, I spend I think I spend on average a week like something like 20 something plus hours testing or answering YouTube questions and all that stuff about masks. So I don't want to be the person. I mean, it's fine that I do that, just so everyone's aware. I don't mind doing it. I think at the end of the day, I just wish the government would do this. I wish people would be communicating this to individuals instead of some random dude in his bathroom sitting on a stool talking to the internet trying to answer mask questions. I really wish we had done a better job of this, and I really wish Fauci and that crew would really reach out to people and we could fix this. Are you going to post a vid of that black Falcon? Yeah. Video's being edited. I got to edit that this week. So I'm trying my best to get it all done. If you want the data, just go to the Google Drive link. It'll be in there. You can see what happens. Does shaving matter? Yeah. If you have a beard, Benjamin, that's definitely going to have a problem with sealing. I don't recommend it. The longer the beard, the more it has an issue. If you shave for a mask fit, shaving for a mask fit. If you just need clean, if you have a little stubble, it's okay. Like I got a little stubble today. It's not the end of the world. You just need to, wherever the mask seals, it needs to be clear. If you have a big bushy beard, what's going to happen is the air is just going to go through the beard and get in your mouth, and you're not going to really get a ton of protection there. So you got to shave it. There's no way around it. Oh yeah, no problem for Rock 15. I recognize the ridiculousness of it too. That's like what, some guy that tests masks in his bathroom. I mean, it's just 2020, man. 2021. It's a crazy world this time. I'm just glad I can help. Honestly, I'm glad I can help people find masks, and if you can save one life, then it's all worth it. So I'm gonna call it there. I am pretty tired. It's 11:30. I'm gonna get up early again tomorrow to be doing some other work. So thank you everybody for hanging out. There'll be more videos. This is just, I'm going to turn this into the raw data video so then everyone can watch it at the same time. Try to be as transparent as I can. I have no motives in this. All these masks were sent to me by individuals or the companies themselves. I didn't purchase them, and I never take money, and none of the links I send are affiliate links. So can you give us the TLRD, the too long didn't read colors notes? Not sure I can know what that means. Biden should nominate your bathroom as a national mask lab. I'm all with that. Biden never wants to talk to me. I'd love to talk to him. Have you tried to reach Fauci? I have no idea how you would reach Fauci. I guess I could tweet him, but I doubt I'll ever see it. If anyone has a contact with Fauci, let me know. I'd love to talk to him. Anyone in Biden's administration regarding masks, I would love to talk to them. Based on the data, it seems like the mask lab nose bridge isn't strong. Yeah, the nose bridge on the mask lab was kind of marginal even on the last one that I had tested, the previous generation. The ones that got sent to me, they're just, I can actually tell they're a little bit shorter. They're like even a few millimeters shorter, and it's just like right at the limit. So they're going to fix that. I talked to Albert at Mass Lab. Actually, there'll be an interview with Albert in the next video, or not the next video, but the one after that. I had like a good hour-long conversation with Albert. And so, yeah, they're still good. I think if you just have, I'm really sensitive to nose wire. I'm super sensitive to it. And so if it's just like and that one's just like a few millimeters too short. So hopefully they'll fix that, but I would still try and. Ben Backrash says, actually I've emailed Mike Carlson. Mike got a lot of emails from me, and same with Lisa Brasal early in the thing when they were like all against cloth masks because they didn't do anything. So I'm very familiar with Mike Ostrom. He never listens to me though. Too long, just me a quick rundown of all the stuff you did tonight. Oh, like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to type that up. You can watch the video or play it in like 4x. Yeah, no, Ostrom's, UM, he works at I'm also a UM grad as well, so I guess I can try to email him. Yeah, you can follow Matthew Shinn. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Masknerd, MASKNERD. I don't post a lot on there because I don't really get Twitter, but I'll be posting more content as it comes in. Do you know why the store in Hong Kong has more variety than the U.S. website for Mask Lab? Yeah, Walter, the reason that the U.S. site is that they only ship, it takes like 3 weeks to go from Hong Kong to there. I think maybe they're slow boating it over there, I'm not sure. But they're going to try to keep up on getting them. There's like a third-party logistics service that's handling it here for them in terms of their distribution. So if you have a lot to order, I think it's actually cheaper to order from the Mask Lab Hong Kong if you're going to order like 8 boxes. But I would wait maybe a little bit, Walter, if you're going to order them to see what happens with this nose wire. If they're going to get that pushed out a little wider, then for surely we'll have to wait to see. All right, so as usual, if you want, you can like or subscribe to the channel. You can see the latest Mask Nerd videos. When you see bicycle videos, it means the pandemic's over. Otherwise, I'm going to go to bed and start doing this all over again in the morning. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you. The Hong Kong site, before I leave, Walter, the Hong Kong site supposedly still ships the shit because that's how Chuck got me these. Chuck ordered these from the Hong Kong site. So, but maybe they stopped doing that. Maybe the U.S. stopped. Maybe they do that. Yeah, go Gophers as well. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging around.